All right, we are going to go over number 17 from page 227. All right, so this is the practice test. It's not section anything. Oops. Why did it do that? Let's try this again. Here we go. All right, so this is practice test, and we're going to do number 17. Here are the two equations. Y equals negative 2x plus 1. This is stuff we've been doing the last 2 days right here. And y equals negative 2x plus 16. Alright, first thing we do is we draw a little xy axis just to give us an idea of what's going on here. And let's graph this thing. So let's do this one first. Oops. Back on it. Get the colors right. Okay, let's try this one more time. Let's make this, yeah, I'm trying. Oh man. Alright. It's let's graph this thing. The y-intercept is 1, so it's right here, and the slope is negative 2. So it's what? You go down 2 and to the right 1, so it should look something like that. It doesn't have to be exact, but it should give you enough of an idea what this line's supposed to look like and how to work the equations. So let's just stretch this out a little bit, make it go a little bit further, line the points up. Okay, good. Alright, let's make this blue. Let's make it this blue. Whoops. There we go. Let's try to make this blue again like that. There we go. And it's going to be 16. Well, where's 16? 16 is way up here. I'm not going to count. I don't have to be exactly, perfectly accurate on this. I just know it's going to be way up here somewhere as opposed to 1 being right here. Wouldn't you agree? All right, and it's also negative 2. So, I'll tell you what. Let's just copy and paste this, make it a little easier. But you would just do the same exact slope as you did before. All right, so it goes through positive 16 right there, and then there's your slope. All right. And let's make it blue. Alright, so there's our two lines. Now what are we trying to do? Trying to find the distance between those two lines, are we? So what can you do? You can go from either this point and drop a perpendicular to here, or you can go from this point right here. Now why am I choosing these particular points? Because I know the point. I know exactly. No, I know this point as well, but this is an intercept. This is a y-intercept. Choose either of the two y-intercepts. You got two y-intercepts, don't you? You got 1, or you got 16 right here, and you got 1. It doesn't matter which one you pick. It doesn't make any difference. So let's pick one. What do you want to do? Pick this one right here? Pick the 1? Yeah, either way, I really don't think one's going to be much, using one over the other is going to be much easier. But that's what we're trying to find. I know this is a little small, but that's what we're trying to find. We're trying to find that distance. Well, look, we already know this point right here. Okay, so we know this point right here, which is 0, 1. And we want to find this point right here. And I'll just make it black. And we want to find that point right there. We're not really sure what that point is, so we call it x and y, correct? So now what we want to do is we want to find the equation of this green line. So find the equation of the green line. So what do we know? I'm going to put a little arrow right there to that green line. What do we know about that? Well, we know the slope, don't we? They don't tell you the slope, but we can figure it out because what is the slope of either one of these two? It's negative 2. So this is perpendicular, so if the slope of these two parallel lines are negative 2, what's the slope of the perpendicular line going to be? Positive 1/2. That's right. So it's positive 1/2 because it's perpendicular to this blue line and the red line as well. All right. So the slope of the blue line is negative 2. The slope of this perpendicular line, the green one, is going to be positive 1/2. It's the negative reciprocal. Now let's find another point on this blue line right here because we're trying to find this point, aren't we? So the green line, that point is formed by this green line and this blue line right here. So what is another point of this green line? Look at this green line. Don't know this point, do I? Do I know a point on the green line? Yeah, which one is it? It's 0, 1. It's shared by both of those, isn't it? So it's 0, 1. So what is the y-intercept of this green line? Where does it hit the y-axis? At 1. So what is the b? It's 1. So what is the equation of that green line now? Y equals 1/2 x plus 1. That's the equation of the green line. Make sense? It's not that hard. Find the slope, look at the y-intercept. You didn't have to figure out what the y-intercept is. You just look to see what it is. Now, let's put these together. Now, which ones are we going to put together? We're trying to find this point right here. So we're going to use the green line, and we're going to use what other one? The blue one. Okay, so we're going to put those together. So I'm just going to go to this. So we got, watch, I've got y equals 1/2 x plus 1. That's that little tiny green perpendicular line. And then I've got the blue line also. Now, why did I pick the blue one? Because I want to find the point of intersection between those two lines, right? Find the point that is shared by the green one and the blue one. You follow me? That's what we're trying to find. So let's write down the blue one. What's the equation of the blue one? Y equals -2x plus 16. Now let's go through this and solve for x. They're both equal to y, so what are we going to do? We've done this several times now. This is not the first time you've seen this, so you should know what we're going to do now. What do we do? Say it. Set them equal to each other. That's right. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go 1/2 x plus 1 and set it equal to -2x plus 16. Now we solve for x. We added 2x. Jacob, let me do this. And we postpone the test. It's going to be next week. Okay, it'll be the day we come back from the break. Okay.
We come back Wednesday, right?
We come back Thursday. We're off Monday for Columbus Day, and then Monday or Tuesday and Wednesday are teacher conference days. Yes.
Instead of going through all that work, why can't you just make the reciprocal of the slope and
Make what? The reciprocal.
the reciprocal?
What about all the? I mean, we got to go through all this work to find this point right here.
But all we ever do is just move the slope and switch it. It's always
Well, we found the equation of the line, but that's not the question. The question is not just to find. Hey guys, hey, we're talking here. You can't just find the equation of the line. You got to find this point right here. So you have to take this equation and this equation, set them equal to each other to solve for x and y. I'm not sure what you're saying that all we need to do. What are you saying is all we need to do?
well, we're trying to find when we find the slope, we have to find a reciprocal. Reciprocal.
Right.
And it's -2. Well, all we have to do is just do 1/2, but we don't have to try and find b or 1 or anything because we already know that it is 1. So all we have to do is just 1/2 x plus 1.
Right. Well, yeah, but that's not our answer. I mean, this is just a small portion in order to get to the answer. But yeah, that's what I was just trying to show you, that we didn't really have to do much math. All you had to do was just take the reciprocal of this line right here to get the slope, right? The reciprocal of -2. The negative reciprocal is positive 1/2, and then you just have to look to see then it's a 1. Okay, but you have to write this formula out. The reason you have to write the formula out because we have to use these two. See, we're using these two equations in order to solve for x. Once we get x, then we have to solve for y. Okay, we got to keep moving because we're going to run out of time. Added 2x to both sides, added 2x, subtract a 1, subtract a 1. Oh, is that in the, sorry. All right. So watch. What's this? That's 4 over 2, right? And that's 1 over 2, so what is that? Yeah, we don't write 2.5. How many times have we said, don't write it as a decimal? I don't know how many times I have to repeat that. Don't write it as a decimal. Don't write it as a mixed number. Okay, keep it an improper fraction. Somebody tell me, how many times have I said that through the course of this year? Probably 18,000, right? I think I'm keeping count. It's about the okay. About. Okay. I don't know where I came up with that number, but that's, you know, I'm being sarcastic, but here we go. That's 15. Now watch. The reason that it's better to keep it like this because the algebra is so much easier with an improper fraction. All you got to do is this. Multiply by 2/5, multiply by 2/5. They rig this thing, don't they? They don't get some crazy answer. They rig it for you, okay? Now, real life problems don't always come out this nice, but in math problems they usually do. So it goes into 3, so it's just 6. See how much nicer it was than writing 2.5? I mean, because could you have done 15 divided by 2.5 in your head? Not me, but you can definitely multiply by 2/5, cancel stuff out. It's way easier this way. Now let's solve for y. I could use either this equation or this equation right here. It doesn't make any difference. Let's use this one since we don't have any Actually, this would be just as easy because it's 1/2 is 6. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Which one do you want to use? Let's use the fraction. All right? Don't be afraid of fractions. It's 1/2 times what? X, which is 6. What?
3.
Plus 1. Right. And that's going to be a 3. 3 plus 1 is
4.
4. So my point is, what's this point right here? It's 6, 4. That's most of the work. Most of the work is just to find that point right there. The rest is kind of easy. I hope you think the distance formula is the easy part, do you?
Yeah.
Sure. Right, it should be.
Now you have to find the
0
distance.
minus.
And you got to find the distance between what and what? Between this point and this point. So between 0, 1 and
6.
6, 4, the one we just found. Okay? And so you just do the distance formula. Subtract the x's. 6 minus 0 is 6. Subtract the y's. 4 minus 1 is 3. That's 36. That's 9. And that's what? 45 square root. Just leave it like that. And you're done. You do it a couple times, and it's almost like second nature to you. I mean, at this point. Now, when I first started teaching this in this class, I mean, I hadn't done it in a year, so I had to really think about what was going on. I had to look at the example and all that. But man, I've done this several times now, and I can almost do it in my sleep now. Okay, you should be at that point. You really should. Okay. Well, that takes us to the end of class. I really would have liked to do number 20 or 21. What I would suggest that you do is this. Don't pack up. Listen to me, please. Everybody look up here. I want you to do this. And I have a feeling, I don't have a feeling, I know for a fact that you're not doing this because I'm looking at the hits on YouTube. I had 3 hits from yesterday's lesson, okay? And we covered this stuff right here. If you had a question on this and you didn't go on YouTube and look to see what we did, you didn't do enough, okay? You're not trying. All right, listen to me. You're not trying if you don't go to YouTube and look at this problem. Go to 7th period. My guess is, I can't promise you, but my guess is 7th period, I'll be able to get to either 20 or 21, okay? In fact, I'll try to do those first before I even do one of these, all right? And then go to the 7th period YouTube, look at it, and I should have 20 or 21 on there so you can see how to do one of those. All right.